In this brand new Terminator series, in the year 2022, a woman is only left with 4 bullets as she is hunted down by a man inside a room full of bodies. He opens fire, killing someone else before finding another with his guts out. After laying waste, the woman sneaks from behind and shoots him, but this man is a Terminator. She tries blowing him up and runs away, but he's unfazed. The Terminator walks her down, but somehow misses every single bullet. She continues to run away into a platform, before she jumps off and swings her way across the walls. The Terminator is out of bullets, but whips out a pistol. She blows up the platform, but he catches onto her legs. After stabbing his eye with a cybernetic needle, his body finally shuts down from a virus. But before he falls, he does a quick reboot. At the nick of time, she takes her boot off and drops him. She climbs back up, but deep below, the Terminator is still alive. You see, years ago, the world plunged into chaos after nuclear warfare broke out, ripping civilizations apart. A man wakes up in 1997, decades before this happened. He's plagued by nightmares and looks at pictures of his family before finding his son building new lights, reminding the father of himself at his age. The father explains that people don't know how things are anymore, and that technology controls people nowadays because of that. He then finds out that his boy Kenta stole the parts he's working with from the microwave and the blender. Kenta explains that he did this because he was supposed to take him to the store, but he's never around at home, and his father apologizes for needing to work all the time. Meanwhile, their nanny Misaki is off on the streets. A couple of kids are playing in the supermarket while she looks for some things. She asks for help, but a robot responds. A man comes to assist, but the robot's sensors don't pick up the woman. The woman is looking for a few things, and finally, the robot helps. Meanwhile, on TV, the father is discussing business on the phone when he says that he has to leave and will miss the mother's birthday. His daughter is upset that he's leaving and storms off. The nanny buys them a gift, and their father scolds them all and orders her to take it back before leaving. Later, the children are complaining about their father and his double standards. Misaki agrees to let them keep the toy for now, and she finds the little girl sitting by herself, looking at pictures of her dead mother, we assume. The father is off to work and he's stuck in traffic. Robots are everywhere in the city when one gives him an evil look. The metro is stuck, and people are roaming the rainy streets. A robot is walking a dog, and he lets it loose, which causes a crash that kills the driver. The robot isn't fazed by this. There are protests against the father, Malcolm Lee, as he goes to work. He is greeted by everyone, and he is told that sudden spikes of energy were detected last night. Everything in the lab is still in order, but he needs to review the data. They unlock a door together, and he checks the date before heading inside, thinking he doesn't have enough time. He walks inside the lab, and it looks extremely techy. An AI greets him and senses he's worried about something, probing deeper into his mind. Malcolm can see into the future and knows that the world is about to end. He believes he can prevent this from happening, and the AI, Kokoro, is eerily talking to him and responds that even though she may be able to save humanity, maybe she doesn't want to. Malcolm is shocked by her answer, but they continue to work regardless. He inserts his key and unlocks some kind of computer before we jump into 2022. A sniper is scouting when he spots a girl, Aiko, coming from a distance. Meanwhile below, Aiko moves through the people, telling them that everyone else is dead. She meets the Prophet and hands her the virus that took down the Terminator, which is the key to their survival. All the resistance camps were overrun by the Terminators with no survivors, all in an effort to find this virus so that they have a chance to beat Skynet. They open the flash drive and find information that shocks them all: time travel. Skynet intends to end the war in one swift move by going back to 1997. They move quickly, but a Terminator has infiltrated the camp. Back at Skynet, they are preparing and building new Terminators. They are assembled before we go back to 1997 to Malcolm, who is seeing this unfold before his eyes. The Terminator comes out looking more human than ever, and Malcolm is in shock. He is the intended target for this new Terminator. There are a whole bunch of others placed inside tubes. It makes its way through to a time machine, set back to Tokyo in 1997. As it takes its place, energy starts moving, before it is finished. Later on, survivors are sitting around pondering about what they're going to do. It seems that they have to travel back in time to save Malcolm. Annie doesn't want Aiko to go because it's a one-way ticket, but it's the only way to defeat Skynet. They hack into Skynet's database and replicate the time travel. Skynet is creating a new timeline by sending the Terminator back, and their window is running out. Aiko second-guesses herself, but the Prophet is sure that she's the only one who can do this. Annie hugs her while crying and pleads with her not to go, but it must be done. As she gets ready to go through the machine, the dog starts going crazy. Suddenly, the Terminator slashes through the people after he breaks in. They try to fight back, but it's useless. The Terminator smells blood. He decimates everyone, and Annie covers a child. Before Aiko can go out to save her, the portal gets activated and takes her. She goes back in time to New York and grabs a newspaper. She heads out into the market and then puts on clothes. Meanwhile, the family is playing with the robot cat that they're supposed to take back. Misaki is skinning a fish open when she suddenly starts to remember her past. She snaps out after she cuts her finger, but finds the children arguing and fighting. She then reminds them that they have to take the toy back, but Reika doesn't want to. They realize that she's bleeding a lot, and then they go back to arguing with the girl. She hides inside her room and looks for the toy cat before looking at a picture of her mother. She then grabs her stuff to leave, and the boys pick the door lock open, but she's nowhere to be found. They find that she has escaped, so they go after her. They agree not to tell Misaki not to tell their father, and they leave. Misaki is in the bathroom washing the blood off, and she wanders into the mirror. Meanwhile, Malcolm is talking to Kokoro about her appearance. She can see through everything, and Malcolm is worried that by bringing her online, she will destroy the world. He knows that the moment Skynet comes online, it will destroy the world by launching nuclear weapons. It will drive humanity to battle each other while they secretly build a secret army. She asks Malcolm what Skynet would want by wiping out humanity, but he doesn't know. She then explains that the world would be better off without humanity. He explains that humans are capable of so many things, but then she says that every invention that was made was used for war. Mankind is a warmonger that uses everything as a weapon, even science. She says Malcolm is ready to blame Skynet for the end of civilization, but even Skynet is another product of humanity. She then says humanity deserves the fate she saw. Finally, she says that she was built to save humanity by fighting Skynet, but says again humanity doesn't deserve to be saved. He's suddenly interrupted by a call from Misaki, telling him that his children ran away. She had one job. He tells her that they're the most important thing to him. Meanwhile, Aiko is spying on the company and hijacks a truck to follow after Malcolm. As that is happening, his little girl is in the metro and sneaks inside a dark tunnel. Her cat runs away, and she goes after it to find a map of Cat Town, but hears a noise coming from a distance. She tries to hide, but is found by her two brothers. She explains that she's running away from them and tries to protect the cat from them, but it runs away again. They run off, and their father is stuck in traffic. He's angry at Misaki for what happened, but she tries to explain why Reika ran away. She mentions the mother, and then he figures out where they're going. He stresses how important the children are, as they will take over the lab. All of a sudden, they crash into a traffic worker. But he's not an ordinary traffic worker. He's a traffic Terminator. Malcolm kicks it off and gets out, but the Terminator takes out the police and makes its way over. Backup arrives, but he deals with them like they're nothing. He steals a gun, and before he can fire, Aiko arrives with her truck and runs the Terminator over. Malcolm knows what is happening, and stresses to Misaki to find the children. Aiko gets shot, but she drives the Terminator off the bridge and Air Jordans her way back on. She asks Misaki where Malcolm is, but she takes off running, and she chases after her. Misaki finds the police and asks for help, but Aiko deals with them with ease. Misaki then wanders off into the docks, where Aiko corners her. She tells her that Malcolm is building a machine, a weapon, and she needs to find him immediately. The children are the next target, and she threatens her to find out where they are. Meanwhile, the children are wandering through the abandoned stop in Cat Town. They hear a noise coming from the distance and find the cat. Before leaving, the older brother decides to explore even further, and he finds an army of robots. These were the first 2 episodes of Terminator Zero. It is a new anime-style show about the Terminator storyline, with new characters and a new setting. It mixes in the new with the old, and we don't know if it can beat the original. There is no Terminator without the great Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'll be back.
If you've enjoyed this series, let us know, and we'll continue to deliver on it to find out how the story ends. Well, this brings us to the end of today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel to get more videos like this one. Your support helps us grow. And tell me what you think about this story. What do you think about the series so far? Do you think they did the source material justice? Or is this just another milking effort from Netflix to turn anything into a woke anime? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of them. And if you're watching till now, thank you. I'll see you in another video soon.